now of how many times the president has demanded I be pulled off the air. I mean, talk about a snowflake, this guy. Every 5 weeks, he flips out and wants me fired. If you got this many threats from a neighbor, you'd have no problem getting a restraining order. The judge would be like, yeah, it sounds like the guy's nuts. Boom.
The studio lights slowly brightened, but Jimmy Kimmel didn't walk out wearing his usual playful grin. Instead, he stood beside his desk, holding a single note card, waiting patiently for the audience to settle. Behind him, a headline filled the screen. Reports of an online remark attributed to Barron Trump that had already gained traction among Trump supporters. The comment, aimed directly at Kimmel, had spread quickly across social media and political circles. Most people in the room expected an immediate counterattack. They anticipated a sharp comeback and another public feud. But Kimmel took a different approach. He glanced down at the card, looked toward the camera, and smiled as though he had already figured out exactly where he wanted to take the conversation. Then he delivered the line. I'll admit it, getting roasted by a Trump son is a little confusing. I never know whether I'm supposed to answer back or check if it counts as a school assignment. The audience burst into laughter, but Kimmel made it clear almost immediately that he wasn't interested in turning Barron into the target. He emphasized that younger people often repeat things they hear, experiment with clever remarks, and sometimes find themselves pulled into political battles they never created themselves.
And don't worry, if we bruise your ego, it'll only make your hands look less disgusting. Now, the president didn't want me to tell any jokes about him tonight, but he also didn't want to pay me $130,000 to shut up. So here we are. Sorry, mushroom.
According to Kimmel, the bigger issue wasn't whether Barron had made a cutting remark. The real question, Kimmel argued, was why Donald Trump appeared so eager to celebrate the comment as though it were a major political victory. That observation instantly shifted the atmosphere in the room. Setting the card down on his desk, Kimmel continued, "There's something revealing about a powerful father cheering when his child becomes part of a public media fight. Most parents try to keep their kids away from that chaos." He went on to suggest that Trump often treats family moments as opportunities to score points, outmaneuver critics, or reinforce the family brand. The audience still laughed, but the tone had noticeably changed. The joke had moved beyond comedy and touched on something more serious.
In the middle of the biggest sex scandal in the history of the American presidency, he takes precious time on the toilet to post about our show. Keeps saying we have bad ratings, and you should listen to him because if anyone knows about bad ratings, it's that guy.
Kimmel then flipped the entire premise of the insult. He argued that if Barron truly considered him irrelevant, then Trump supporters had unintentionally created a contradiction. If Kimmel didn't matter, why was the comment spreading so rapidly through political circles? Why were supporters sharing it everywhere? Why was Trump responding? And why did a supposedly unimportant late-night host keep becoming a major topic of discussion? The audience began applauding before he even finished the thought. At that point, a satirical timeline appeared on the screen behind him. First came the original insult, then came the reposts and reactions. Finally came Trump's response, praising the remark while once again criticizing Kimmel and his ratings. Pointing toward the graphic, Kimmel joked, "Nothing says a joke didn't land quite like organizing an entire family strategy session around it." The room erupted again. After the laughter died down, Kimmel explained that Trump's real issue wasn't being insulted. Public figures deal with criticism constantly. In his view, the deeper problem was that Trump often treats criticism as a loyalty test. If someone attacks a shared opponent, they earn praise. If they stay silent, it gets noticed. And if they laugh at the wrong joke, suspicion quickly follows. Many older viewers immediately understood the comparison.
In the event that our president has a medical emergency tonight, do we have a doctor in the house? Do we have a Jesus in the house? I always confuse them too. I get why you think you're Jesus. This guy, every time he walks into a room, people say, "Christ, he's back."
They had seen situations where approval was tied to taking sides, rather than speaking. Honestly, they had witnessed families where loyalty was measured through obedience instead of openness. Kimmel didn't over-explain the point. He simply allowed the image to linger, a son delivering an insult, a father celebrating it, and a comedian turning the entire situation into a reflection of something larger. Then he looked directly into the camera. The smartest response to an insult isn't always another insult, he said. Sometimes the better question is why the insult was necessary in the first place. He continued, if Trump is winning, why does Kimmel still get under his skin? If he's completely confident, why does every joke demand a response? And if the family is above all of this, why are they still paying attention? The audience responded with another wave of applause.
Late last night, the Angry Orange posted, why does ABC Fake News keep Jimmy Kimmel, a man with no talent and very poor television ratings, on the air? Why do the TV syndicates put up with it? Also, totally biased coverage. Get the bum off the air.
As the room settled, Kimmel softened his tone and made it clear that Barron was never supposed to be the center of the story. The focus, he argued, should remain on the adult with the platform, the influence, and the habit of turning criticism into conflict. A son can throw out a joke, Kimmel suggested. A father decides whether to laugh privately or put it on display for everyone to see. That decision says far more than the joke itself. Displayed once again on the screen, Trump's reactions suddenly seemed less powerful than intended. What had been designed to embarrass Kimmel ended up highlighting something entirely different. The goal was to show that Kimmel had been rattled. Instead, Kimmel reframed the moment as evidence that Trump was still watching, still responding, and still unable to let even minor criticisms pass, without escalating it into a larger confrontation. By the end of the monologue, Kimmel hadn't attacked Barron at all. He redirected the conversation toward the persons holding the influence and authority. That was why the audience responded so strongly. The original remark came from one direction, but Kimmel redirected the spotlight toward where the real power existed. Under the bright studio lights, the punchline was no longer about a young man's comment. It had become a commentary on Donald Trump's tendency to treat every criticism, no matter how small, as a battle that must be fought.